Hi, everybody. Hey,
Hello.
hey. Welcome back to this episode 53, making cool,
Welcome.
awesome progress. So this is the week before Christmas, 2 weeks before a new year. Lots going on. This
Yay,
is a
'tis
crazy
the
time of year.
season.
Yeah, it is the season for good things and lots of stress for a lot of people.
'Tis the season where everybody's talking about being like checked out, right? Like I feel like
Yeah, which
people
is
are
crazy.
like I'm checked out, especially with like work and the schedules are different. So 'tis the season for holidays and some stress and some I need a break vibe.
The break, yeah, which is so interesting because when you think of the holidays from a really positive perspective, you're like, oh, I can't wait for it. It's really awesome and it's fun and it's nostalgic and it's exciting and we don't have school, we can take a break from work. But then when you're in the trenches of it, sometimes it's like a lot.
I had three clients this week. Their verbiage, all of them, same verbiage, like
Yeah.
same, like similar. Which is like, I'm like, oh yeah, well, Christmas is next week. Merry Christmas, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, I just need the season to be over.
Yeah.
It's like exactly what you said. It's like there's so much, everything is so much sometimes, which I guess that's our leading into our topic.
Yep.
Everything's so much that there's a point where you're like, I am trying to enjoy it, but also I need normality back. And
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much I have to do to make things special and get things done by this timeline. And then, like, my kids are out of school, and this, like, your routine's just different, and you have so much you feel like you have to do. So it's like, yeah, work might let up a little bit, school might let up a little bit, but then the stress comes in a different way.
Yes. Yeah, and I think also there's a lot of pressure on people to make memories and to make traditions and, really focus on creating this type of nostalgia for your family. I mean, I think that I can look back, for example, on my childhood for Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's and be like, wow, like we really did so many things every single year. And I want to make sure that I do things every single year. But, sometimes it falls through the cracks and you're like, okay, well, I didn't do that this year. Next year for sure, and that's pressure. It's a lot of stress, a lot to remember. And at some point, like something's got to give. So, I think that's why we kind of picked our topic today. So we're going to talk about like the holiday mental load and how to get through it and how to kind of forgive yourself for some of the things that do slip through the cracks.
Yeah. What do you think you experience or you hear others experience of, what the holiday stressor is about like making the magic or especially you having kids, like what do you think is the most stressful thing?
I think getting it done in a timely manner. And what I mean by that is once Thanksgiving ends, you basically have 3 weeks until Christmas. And then you consider like school ending a certain time and changing some of your schedule around to accommodate like the Christmas holiday and stuff being closed and making sure that your gift giving is done. And if you're traveling, all the travel plans, like you only have a limited amount of time to make sure that everything is done. So, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing to me that Christmas is a week away because, I mean, I'm very type A and I've gotten a lot done, but at the same time, I'm like, I saved all of these things to do with my kids on my Instagram, and I've done like two of them, and it's just stuff that I'm like, oh, I could do that in a weekend. That's so easy. I'll make time for that, and it just, time flies.
I hate that because there's like so much sadness because we say the same thing around the holidays.
Yeah.
We did good for like the fall stuff, but I'm like, where does time go? Where you're
Mhm.
just like, I want to make the time for this stuff, and then it's just gone.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, oh, we have a whole season, but the season there's just, I think it's hard because you're still doing life too.
Hmm.
So as
That.
much as you're in like a holiday, like tis the season and your schedule's messed up, you're still working, your kids are still in school, you still have to do the day-to-day stuff. So it would be totally different if everybody was like, whole month of December, no school, no work, everyone's just doing holiday stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like
right.
I
Can
see
you
that, but
imagine?
when you're like, oh, holiday season on top of just normal life stress, it becomes a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's important to, for those people who are not really familiar with the jargon, like what mental load means.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's pretty intuitive, but when we talk about mental load, it's not just remembering to do something, it's having to remember and catalog all of the things leading up to it. So if you need to give someone a gift, right? This would be an example of mental load. Okay, What is that person like? When am I going to see them? When are we exchanging gifts? Do I have wrapping paper? When do I have time to order or go buy the gift? When am I going to have time to wrap and drop it off or exchange? And etc. Right? Like all of these steps for one thing. And that takes up mental space. So then multiply that by, I mean, we're using gift giving and Christmas, for example, as an example, right? And then stockings, if you do those for each person in your house. Let's hang them up. Let's make sure that we have enough things. Let's tailor them to each person in the house. When are we going to fill them? When are we going to set things out? How often, how are we going to do that on Christmas morning? Like these are all things that need to be thought of and accounted for, and what stores you're going to. You may be shopping at different places for different people. If you're the one person in the home that's doing all of that, it's exhausting. And sometimes you're like, this doesn't feel super magical because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And it's worth it on the morning that you do exchange stuff, right? You're like, yay, finally. But in the moment, you're like, I just can't wait to be done. Like, I can't wait to be done with the wrapping and the shopping and the stuffing and all of that because it is just so much cognitive
Right,
space.
because all that stuff, again, it's back to what I said. All those tabs are open on top of your normal tabs.
Right.
It's again, it's not like you're dropping all your other tabs and then replacing them with these
Yeah.
ones where you're like, okay, cool, I can put this. It's like, okay, now there's just other tabs. I have to get this stuff done while I'm doing the other tabs.
Right.
And that becomes so much mental load on somebody of what's priority, what do you have time for. And I think it's interesting because if say you take the kids out of it, because I think it's hard, and then there's different perspectives, right? When you have kids, it's like you want to make it magical for them,
Yeah.
right? I think it's sad too because when you're adults, you're still trying to enjoy it. But I
Mhm.
hate this, and I think a lot of people struggle with this because I hear it a lot, and I feel it too. It's like you're like, I want to enjoy it, and I want to get gifts for certain people, but then it's like, oh, I just have to get a gift because I have to get a
Yeah.
gift, and I hate that. And like I even fall into it because I'm like, oh, I have to get this person something,
Yeah.
but it's because there's so much mental load of like I just need to check it off my box and I just
Right.
want it done. And since I haven't found anything or found the ideal present or I don't really know what they would want, let me just get something because it's like that exhaustion
Yeah.
of needing it to be over, which is sad because that's not the reality of what like gift giving and shopping is, but we all
Yeah.
fall into that like, okay, well, we got a week before Christmas, so let me just get something. And one of my clients talked with it today. He's like, I hate it because I'm at the store and like my partner's like, we got to get something for Uncle so and so, and he's like, I don't know, just grab something, I guess, because I
Yeah.
don't know
Right.
I don't even have a conscious effort of
Yeah.
what this person might like. I get him the T-shirt, I guess, but then there's that emotional piece of like, I'm shopping to enjoy it and picking it out for this
Yeah.
person. It
Right.
goes out the window.
Yeah. And I think that with recognizing when you are the carrier of the mental load for a household, or if you are kind of surpassing that when you check in with yourself, like, I'm really overloaded. I think this is a really important place to adjust your own expectations because I think I fell prey a few years ago to let's make sure that I'm shopping for my kids, my partner, my partner's family, my friends, teachers, daycare providers, etc. And it kind of got to a point where I was like, no, because it's too much and there are so many people that either don't reciprocate, which it's not about that.
Yeah.
But it's like if I'm thinking of a person and I'm being conscientious and I'm using energy and time and money to pick something thoughtful for someone and then it's not returned to me, that feels wasted. It feels like, well, I could have used this time to just send them a card. I could have just sent a Christmas card and that's sufficient. I feel like gift giving also has changed a lot because so many people just buy what they want when they want it.
Right.
So there isn't that old school mentality like when we were growing up of like, okay, I'm saving Christmas for this item because I really want it. That
Right.
doesn't really happen so much anymore.
Mm.
So it's hard to shop for people too. And it's like, okay, well, you're the hardest person to shop for. I'll just give you a gift card. And then it feels very detached. So
Mm.
at that point, I would rather just narrow my circle, shop for my parents or my kids or whatever, and teachers, and leave it at that.
I had that thought today because one of my colleagues, and she's good at this. And let me just preface it with like, I want to be that person. I have accepted that I can't be because of this.
Yeah,
Like, there's too many people. I get too overly loaded,
yeah,
and I walked into my office and there was like this cute little candle gift, and like she does it every year, and I know she does it, and I know
yeah,
she doesn't expect anything in return, but I'm like, how does she do it? Because
Yeah.
like I would love to get you and that other one, but I can't. The thought even alone started like exhausting me.
Yeah.
And me and my friends have done that through the years. And I'm like, some years I'm like, oh, I found this thing and it made me, it was like a perfect fit. So I buy
Right.
it. And then the next
Right.
year I'm like, love you, but like, you're not getting anything this year because
Yeah.
like, it's too
I
much
don't know.
mental load. And like, we're good where some of us give each other gifts and have no expectation. But
Yeah.
you're, those are like my close people where you're like, I
Sure.
know it's like, you could get me something or not. And I don't care. I found this and want to give it to you.
Yeah.
But I do like you're right. It's like I think there's like I definitely grew up in this where you're like you get a gift for everybody.
Yeah.
And then that just becomes not fun. Or then like a few years ago me and Ronald did that and I just remember like money was going through my head a lot cuz I'm
Yeah.
like okay, now we have 20 people. Like I was like, "Oh, we're going to get for family." And then he's like, "I want to buy for some of our friends." And I'm like, "Okay, what if each person's gift?" And I started doing math in my head and I'm like, that's a lot of extra money for like
Yeah.
15
Right.
extra people we're going to buy a little gift for, but it's still going to be
Yeah.
30 plus dollars,
Right.
50, $30, $40 a person. And then I got in that headspace where I'm like, is this really what I want to do with my money? Do I think this
Right.
gift is something that they're really going to like? Where
Yeah.
this is what I find interesting that stresses me out, where I feel like he's just like, I just want to buy a gift for somebody. In my mind, and I'm curious to hear your input on this.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just the gesture. We're giving somebody a gift. Valid. I totally get that. It is the thought.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I am going to get somebody a gift,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spend our money on something that they don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to be like, oh, this is nice. I'm glad Alessia thought about me, but like, let's just, it's now it's junk and I need to put it in a drawer or throw it away.
Yeah. Right.
And now my fucking $40 is just thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I rather if we find something that they like, let's get it. But if not, let's just be like, hey, like let's go out and like I'll buy you a drink or like I'll take it. I'd
Yeah.
rather do something like that than just be
Mhm.
like, here's this stupid funny thing, haha, okay.
Yeah. Right.
But his mentality is just like, oh, we just like he likes to do the giving aspect, which I can get.
Sure. I get
But
that.
when it's that many people, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
Stresses
I
me
mean,
out.
I think, and I agree with you if I am not prepared. So like if I'm in the summer, if I can find a sale on something cute and I'm like, wow, these are really affordable, they're inexpensive, I'm gonna stash them for like little Christmas gifts. You know, like Bath and Body Works, the little sample candles are so cute, right? Like that and a little gift card. Perfect. Under $10 a person. It's a little
Right.
gesture. I feel like I'm more comfortable just being like, hey, thought of you,
Right.
doing something like that as opposed to let's just buy something for the sake of it because it's a thought that counts. Because when I'm on the receiving end of that, I don't want a thought that counts gift. I would
Right.
rather get nothing,
Right.
you know? And I mean, I've been the recipient of gifts that I don't like, that are thoughtless, that have are not things that I'm interested in, and that's not me being ungrateful. It's like I would rather get nothing and just like a Merry Christmas and a hug, which is weird, but I would rather have that
Right.
and then be like, "Hey, I'll see you for dinner in a couple weeks." Like we'll just, that I would rather spend time with you than be
Right.
given something that I'm like, thanks." So knowing that about myself, I agree with you that I would rather just be like, I don't want to do gifts. Like, do you want to hang out in a couple weeks? Like, hey, maybe let's do, what, like you said, let's just go get an appetizer and a drink.
Yeah.
You know, let's go to coffee and I'll buy yours, you buy mine. Let's call it
Right.
even, you know?
Like that
Um,
stuff's so
that's
much
fine.
more important.
Yeah.
I think there's just pressure around gift giving and gift buying that's just
Hmm.
like too much.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it can be really simple. I mean, just an example, today I was like, well, let me get the daycare provider something because she's really thoughtful. She's amazing. And, I want to make her feel appreciated. But I was like, okay, what can I get her? Just something small. So I got her like a little craft soap. It's
Yeah.
really cute. And a gift card to like a local coffee shop.
Yeah.
And
Love that.
perfect, right? Easy. It's still thoughtful because it's something in our area. It's not nothing out of the way. She can spend it as she wants, when she wants. And I know that she likes to put like cute stuff in her bathrooms and things like that. So I'm like, perfect. This is great. That's the level that I think I have the space for.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's fine.
Right.
I mean, I'm kicking myself because I did teacher gifts and I'm proud of them, but I need a ribbon to tie around it because it's like one of those, I put everything in a little Target box, but it's like the lid that doesn't snap. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't just give them this like little tub, this tub. So I need a ribbon. And do you think I have it yet? And it's Thursday. They have one more day of school this week, you know? I'm stressed about it.
Yeah,
And I hate that I'm stressed about a ribbon.
right,
I can literally go to Dollar Tree and just get a ribbon tomorrow and be done with it.
right. But
But
again,
like
it's mental load.
that's the type of thing that takes up a lot of space. You're like, oh, I can't forget because I have 2 more days. I got to get this done. And I have on top of work, on top of my schedule, on top of appointments, I have to buy a ribbon.
Right. And it's
That's
so
done.
interesting because that's like, you're like overly mental loaded though when something like this, it's like the reality of what we're talking about. When
Yeah.
something that's like simple is like, oh my God, it's gonna be a lot out of my day, it feels like.
Yeah.
When we know in the big scheme of things it's not, but when you're very busy and you have other stuff, going out of your way to go to the store is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And I do think it's important to also talk about when your mental load is not seen, how much more stressful it is. Because I mean, I've had two, maybe three clients this week that have brought this up to me about the holidays and being stressed and kind of just wanting Christmas to be here already and New Year's to be here already because they feel, and you know, they're all women for full disclosure, but they all feel that they have done 99+% of the work. They've done the decorating, they've done the shopping, they've done the wrapping, they've done the magic making, the crafts, you know, the scheduling the pictures with Santa and finding the events and getting all the kids their multiple outfits for school this week. And they're like, and my partner comes home and it's all done. And I'm stressed about that because they don't even know what I got the kids for Christmas. They don't know any of like how difficult it's been to just manage things and get packages that the kids don't see and wrap things. Like it just magically happens. And I'm resentful of that. And legitimately makes sense. You know, you're in a partnership or in a home where suddenly the tree is up and the decorations are done and the fall decorations are put away and the Christmas menu is planned and the groceries are shopped for the Christmas menu and you've got the cute plates and everyone has a Christmas outfit and the stockings are full and the gifts are wrapped and it's like it just
You get
happens.
to show up.
It just, yeah, oh, good morning, Merry Christmas, I'm here, you know? And, but there's no recognition of, you know, hey, I appreciate that, like, you did all of this. And I know you like it your way, but I'm sorry I didn't step in to help. Like, you did a freaking awesome job.
Right. I think the sadness of that, which I will say
Mm-hmm.
for like for tools for listeners, like I do
Yeah.
think that's, if not everyone's gonna have this, I get it. Like, but to
Mm-hmm.
form healthy relationships, I do think that's a conversation to have with your partner. If you
Yeah.
have to at least try to see if they are receptive or if they're willing to like, oh
Yeah.
shoot, I didn't think about it. You do have that.
Yeah.
And I think it also falls back when you're talking, and I know we did an episode of, maybe we did a long time ago, but it makes me feel like the default parenting
Yeah.
when women, especially new moms, will talk about the mental load of like, oh, like I hear this a lot with new moms. You'll get this. Like, yeah, my husband, even if you have a healthy partner, like even if I have like a woman who's like, yeah, my man does a lot for me,
Mm-hmm.
but the reality is my brain as a mother is wired when
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm having the list and I'm having what they need. They need their lunch packed and what do we need in the
Yeah.
stroller and what do we need to pack when we go to the beach. And like sometimes it's like you either have to feed that to your partner
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't innately cross their mind,
Yeah.
or you don't have a person who will do it. So then there is like this default, it's like default parenting Christmas mode, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
this person just gets to show up at the kid event, and I had the mental load of waking up and being like, oh, of course I'm losing my shit because I had a checklist all day. Like one of my moms said that once, like
Yeah.
I wake up and have a checklist when we're going somewhere, and my man's kind of just like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Right.
And it feels the same when you're talking about Christmas stuff of like
Yeah.
there's a default parenting vibe if you're not
Mm-hmm.
communicating, or if that your partner doesn't care as much, or they just are like oblivious to like how much. And I'm not saying it's all men, because
No.
people do get help, but it is hard when you're like, I know I'm the sole one that either cares about the holidays more, or I want him to be more magical, and my
Yeah.
partner might not care as much as the magic. Then it does feel like the weight's on you.
Yeah. No, 100%. And again, like you said, for tools, I think it's important when you recognize that resentment is such a powerful emotion and it's so hard to get rid of it once you have it, So if you start feeling resentful of your situation where maybe, like you said, partner's oblivious or you've just gone ahead and taken care of everything and now you're like, okay, where's my pat on the back? Like I did all of that without complaining and now I just want to be acknowledged. I think the best thing to do is kind of sit down with your partner and be like, hey, I feel really overwhelmed and you see that I'm overwhelmed and I just like I need some help. Or what are you willing to help with? Maybe you can't cook the dinner. Can you bring all of the gifts down on Christmas night? Can you put them under the tree? Are you willing to do the shopping for your family because you know them better?
Right.
Are you willing to take down the decorations at the end of the season? Like that would really be helpful for me to know that the closing down of the season is not all on me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's just have that conversation. It doesn't have to be, I feel like a lot of people think that this is coming from a place of conflict, and it's really not. The holidays are a place of togetherness and cooperation, and when you feel like, hey, it's my holiday because I did it by myself, that's isolating.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of does make some moms dread it. I
Right.
hate that I have to do the Christmas shopping by myself, and I hate that I have to cook by myself, and I hate that I have to plan all the crafts and the events and everything myself.
Right.
Because there's never a time where that person is able to just sit back and know that the magic is going to be made. And
Yeah.
that's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I've beat myself up. Like I have a very close mom friend who does like the cutest baking with her kid.
Yeah.
And it's all like very cutesy, like reindeer, donuts and decorated cookies and cut out sugar cookies. And I'm like, I just don't have the time.
Right.
I would love to. And, it makes me, I'm so happy for her and I'm proud of her. And I love seeing her pictures. It makes me like thrilled for her kid. But I'm like, I don't have it in me. Like, I don't have that extra time to sit with my three girls around a table at the end of a long day and be like, let's make sugar cookie dough.
Yeah.
And so, however, here's some tools. I was like, I'm going to order a roll of sugar cookie dough.
Right.
We're going to chop it up into pieces and roll it out. And I have cute little cutters and we're going to backdoor our way around it,
Yeah.
you know?
Which
And
I
it's,
love that you said that because I feel like that's with mental load stuff. I do think you have to, like, even when we were talking about, partners, it's how do you still check in with yourself? Like, what can I kind of minimize? Would I ideally like to be, am I envious of my friend who is
yeah,
like making the cutest cookies? And like, yes, again, I want to be that person.
yeah,
But realistically, if I'm realistic with myself, I'm not going to be that person this year.
mm-hmm,
What's going to make it easier and what am I still going to be able to do
yeah,
to still bring some holiday joy where I'm not burning myself out and
right,
overly doing it to
mm-hmm,
where now I'm angry, I'm resentful, I'm exhausted, I hate the season because
yeah,
I'm trying to keep up with so and so and I'm trying to do this because I need to do it or this is a tradition, I have to keep it alive. And I
yeah,
do think that a lot of people don't check in with themselves and they're the fault of their resentment because it's not
yeah,
like, you know what? If I don't have somebody to help me, maybe decorations look like this. And is it
yeah.
ideal for me? And am I sad about it? Yeah.
Is it
But maybe
something?
that is what it is right now
Yeah,
because and every year is going to be different based on where you are.
sure. Yeah, so I mean, I think let's normalize that shortcuts are okay. It is okay to use pre-cut dough for cookies. It's okay to not have time or desire to.
I hope my mom hears this.
Hey, Kath.
Hey, Kat, you can use the easy route,
Yeah.
and all of us would feel less stressed. Okay?
Yeah, there you go. I think it's also okay to not want to do the cooking for yourself and your small family and just make a huge meal. It's okay to Cracker Barrel a Christmas meal.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
will say I loved that about because you can tell people are getting more like okay, like
Yeah.
getting on board with stuff because all of Thanksgiving there were so many promotions like order
Mhm.
Thanksgiving to your doorstep and I was like that is the vibe for some families right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Like
good. I mean, it's
cool.
better than nothing.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
better to do that, and maybe it's more affordable to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because some people just can't afford the million ingredients to make everything from scratch, and I totally get that. So if it's gonna lessen your stress and be a little bit more affordable to have an entire meal for your family delivered to your door, use the time that you would spend cooking to do some of those other things.
Right.
Use that cooking time to decorate or, paint your own little ornaments with your kids or, build a snowman if you live in a snowy place. you can redistribute your time and not feel stressed and not feel guilty about it because you're still providing, you're still getting the experience, and maybe that is your tradition. Hey, we order every year from this one place, and we love to order this one thing, and it's great. And the only thing we change is the pie. Maybe that's your tradition, and that's okay. I don't know. I do very much believe that, and I tell so many of my clients this, you have to acknowledge like your role in your own distress. And the mental load is not the distress, but it's the residual reaction formation that you have. Like, I'm so overwhelmed, totally valid. But at some point, to break free of that, you need to snap yourself into a little reality. Like, I'm drowning, but it's because I'm staying in the water. Like, I need to get out, you know?
Right.
Um,
It's okay to
yes, that's
say no
fine.
to a lot of things. Like,
Yeah, and say no. Say no to a
say
lot.
no, and I think what's hard about saying no is that you're still probably going to have some aspect of being upset.
Yeah,
Like, no, I'm not going to do this thing with my kids, or no, I'm not going to go to this event. And
yeah,
I'm sad and disappointed because it's something I really want to go to, but like checking in with my energy, I just don't have it in me.
yeah, yeah. Like, I have skipped many things because bedtime is non-negotiable for me, for my kids. So it's good for them and it's good for me to have a routine. So if something starts at 8 p.m., I will not be there. And it sucks. And sometimes I'm like, oh, look at the pictures. It was so fun. Like, maybe we should have gone. No, it doesn't serve me, and that's fine.
Right. I feel like that's also one of those some people care about more than others, right? But you're like looking out for future you at that point.
Yeah, right.
Which
Yep.
is like, okay, if I do this and say I wouldn't make bedtime a priority and I drag my girls out, then what does tomorrow feel like for me?
Yeah, tomorrow
Like,
feels exhausting and they're thrown off and I'm thrown off and then we're all having a tough morning. Um, and then was it worth it? Did we really appreciate it? Did we enjoy it? Not really, because I know the whole time I'm stressing about getting home. So again, like it's I think that's a great point that you made about being willing to say yes to some things and say no to other things, even if getting comfortable saying no to small things will help open the door for you to set boundaries with bigger things,
right.
like invitations to parties and family events and things like that. It's okay to be like, I don't have space for that. I'm trying to enjoy what I have and what I have capacity for. So, yeah, like let try to manage the overwhelm, but communicate with your people, whether it's in your home or your friends, like I'm really overwhelmed. Um, it's okay to also start shopping early. Like, it's just a
Right.
pro tip. Just you see a sale, you're like, hey, my partner, my kid, my family would love that. I'm just gonna stockpile some stuff. I'm gonna get wrapping paper early so I'm not racing out to get it. Like, things like small things like that can help like save future you.
Right. And I will add before we end, like, and I do think majority of people have to check in with, if I call it a voice, like a voice of obligation. Like, do you feel like so obligated to do something that you're betraying yourself and then now you're miserable or now you're not enjoying anything because you're like, oh, I have to do this because they're my family. I have to show
Yeah.
up here because they're my friends. There's like this little obligation that's why a lot of times people don't say no,
Yeah.
because it's like that is not really what you want. It
Hmm.
is literally something ingrained in your brain that tells you you have to.
Hmm.
And like, who made that rule? Like, who made that rule that you have to go to
Yeah.
so-and-so's house because they're having a Christmas party? Like, yeah, like you don't have to go, right? So your grandma's like, oh no, we do this tradition, and you're like, I literally have no energy to give. Like, you don't have to
Hmm.
go. Sorry,
Yeah.
grandma, be mad at me.
Right.
And that's hard for people, so I get
It
it.
is. Yeah.
All right, squad, but let us know what your mental load is and how your holidays go because if
Yeah.
you didn't
Send us your
shop
Christmas
early,
menu so we have some
yes.
ideas.
And Gabby told you to shop early, but if you waited this long, you did not. You needed Gabby's advice like 7 months ago. So there we are.
There's always next year. 2026 resolutions are coming up, y'all.
Yes.
So,
Everybody Christmas shop in June.
woohoo. All right, I love that advice. Okay, guys. Well, I guess we will talk to you after the Christmas holiday, and to whoever celebrates, Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful year, and try to rest and recover and not be stressed out.
Yep. Till
Okay,
next
love
time.
y'all. Bye.